YouTube too much, it tells me to get off, and it just kind of kicked me off in the middle of the reading. So it says here, it's talking about rules, and rules are meant to treat people as equals. Am I reading the right thing? Yeah, futility. Yet the rules are bent for others. But I just feel that there's a connection between these two things. I feel like you're still looking at the window at the stadium, perhaps from a different perspective, and there's loss. And I feel like this is still a baseball diamond here, if you not, right? So let's move on. What do we have here? Disappointment. This disappointment makes sense. This is the Five of Cups. Um, that's really interesting. Is it Five of Cups? Yeah, this is Five of Cups disappointment. Let me just see something here. Yeah. So this is Five of Cups disappointment, but this one cup here, the only one cup is broken. Everything else is broken, smashed. Looks to me like there's a fight. A vase is broken. They've opened up the curio cabinet and they're just dashing stuff everywhere. China's broken and whatnot. But this one cup, even though broken, still hangs on. But then if we want the division, you can see the 3 and the 2 because it's normally the 3 and the 2 cups that are separated. We've got here the filmmaker. The filmmaker makes sense. That's a standard kind of thing somebody would do with their hands when they're trying to line up and size up the frame. This is the Ace of Swords. This here is failure. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's a difficult card to see. But this is failure. It looks like, why do I want to say that I'm recalling this being, I think all the lights were out in New York. There was a time when they had an outage and all the lights were out. So there's a failure there. You've got the star here, which is interesting. It's really nice how they've melded this with one foot is like over the sewer grate and the other foot is on land, and you've got the water. You've got the mixing of both. Then over here we have the painter. Queen of Swords. Painter with the Queen of Swords, because you're able to paint the truth as you see it. Because our truth comes from our perspective, and the painter paints from their perspective. So she's looking at the window, she's looking through her perspective, and she's going to paint her truth. She's going to paint her craft based on what she sees, based on how she receives what is coming at her, the data, through her own filter. That is really good. And you know what else is good? Am I seeing this correctly? You know, when you're painting, you would put your paintbrush in the jar. Oh my gosh. You would put your paintbrush in the jar. And she is painting with truth. You understand? So she has her paintbrush, her truth brush, sitting in the jar, because what happens when you're painting? When you're painting, you paint something, you get paint on it, and you want to move on to something else. You have to clear that paint so you can give a true connection, a true reflection, accuracy. She's cleaning her sword, her sword of truth, to give accuracy in what it is she is showing and saying from her perspective. Holy moly, never noticed that before. This is happiness. Let me tell you, a barbecue makes me happy. So I get this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, makes sense. This is the 9 of Cups. Hot dog, family, the grill. I love it. This is success, right? So this guy, let's say he's, in one of the buildings on Wall Street or in the subway, and he has the opportunity to get his shoes shined. And so his success, That too, I guess. Six of Pentacles is normally a transference from hand to hand. And so we see these six pentacles leaving his hand and going into the hands of the guy who is shining his shoes. That's nice. That's a nice reflection of that. Here's the hacker. This hacker reminds me of the Matrix and Neo. It really, really does. He's there. This could also be that someone is watching you or you're watching someone too. A little bit of cyber stalking. This cruelty. And it's only a toy, but someone has been very unkind to this toy. It is broken. It is dismembered. When I see this bottle, I'm hearing spilt milk. Spilt milk. Spoiled milk. Because the thing is, once you spill milk, you can't put it back into the bottle. You can't, like, it's just it. It's over. That's it. Here's the journalist. This is one of the cards that he redid. The story on this one, I think, is a guy who wanted to contribute to the Kickstarter campaign to get the deck going, but he didn't have the money. So he offered to, I think, tell everybody about the deck or something. In exchange, the author of the deck put him in here, which is beautiful. What a really nice way to be encapsulated and remembered for your contribution to the deck. The journalist, Prince of Wands, being very passionate about the story that you're telling, about the news that you're giving, what you're sharing. And this guy was passionate based on the story around him. So I think that's a really good way to depict that. Then here we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant. You know, here I see this staff, and I'm just hearing your rod and your staff, they comfort me. This is a priest, a pastor. This is authority. This is religion. Yet it doesn't feel holy to me. You know what I mean? It feels empty. It feels authoritarian in a way, not heavily so, but there's a darkness to the deck, to this card, I mean. There's a darkness to this. Here's the devil. Got the devil on a toilet. There's I don't know, handcuffs, foot cuffs. The way the devil is looking down, you see the horns up here. Sorry. You see the horns there on the devil? Looking down at you. I'll tell you right now, I hate a public toilet. I can't take them. I think they're dirty. So for him to just be like, oh, hold on a second. What's at the bottom here? Whoa. What? Get out. Get out. Get out. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at this. Look at this card. I hope you could see it. Hold on. How can I do this? Hold on. Let me use my pen. Do you see down here? Do you know what those are? If you can't see it properly because just the glare and I'm by the window. Those are stick people. Normally when you see the devil card, it's the devil and two people are chained to the devil. This devil has multiple people. There are even people here on the wall that look like they're climbing up his pant leg, even over here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people down here. 6 people down here raising up to the devil, climbing for the devil. Some of them look like they're even praising the devil. Then you got drawings up here that look like they're climbing up his pant leg. Then you got more drawings over here. Oh, I wish you could see that. That is wild. Almost like the Pied Piper. It's like all these souls that have given themselves over to whatever, for whatever purpose. Mm. All right, this is works, okay? Obviously, they're building, which is funny. This to me would be, what was that card? It was the Aeon card with the wall, where we were talking about the Manhattan River, the Hudson River, and how across the way you could see there was a building with some cranes on it. I feel like this is a continuation of that the modernity that's coming to the city in juxtaposition to the old. Okay. Art. Art. I mean, enough said. You know, and if even if we just want to extend it, we just finished talking about the Queen of Swords and how she was the artist, she's the painter, and she was looking out the window, right? And so now you're seeing this art out there. Ooh, I'm just hearing art imitating life as well. This art also, what is that? 14. 14 is temperance. It's a temperance card. This is about what is that word? Jeez. Alchemy. Uh Taking two things and making a new thing, right? You got the two jugs of water, you're twisting it back and forth, and you're creating balance, you're creating newness, you're creating um insight, revelation, understanding. It's also about patience too. Because it takes time to make art, honey. You don't burp that out. That takes time. And look at that. Whoa! Did you see the sign up here? This is stop and go. This is stop and walk. Wow. That's interesting. And then, oh my gosh, come on. Well, maybe it doesn't mean anything, but you've got a hand here that's saying to stop. Then you've got a sign saying to walk. And then you've got this sign here sending you in the opposite direction. And prudence. So this is about being careful. This is a person who is fixing watches. So time, divine timing, being careful, time on task, skill, acquiring information, knowledge, data, because these are all like back here clocks and pieces of clocks, right? Detail. He's even taken off his glasses. Glasses weren't even good enough to see what he needs to see there to fix what he has to fix. Debauch. This is debauchery. This is what was it? There was the card indolence, and there was another card with the it was the swords with the drugs. But this is just a continuation of this is Seven of Cups. This is about having a lot of options. Which drink do you want? Do you want to have I don't drink, so I don't know. Do you want like a pina colada? Do you want to I don't know, bourbon? Not that I don't think you put bourbon in any of these things, but do you want to sex on the beach? Do you want to I don't know. I don't know if I said Bloody Mary already. I don't know. Uh, Manhattan Island long tea or whatever they call it, all those kind of things. Like, which cup do you want? Because you're being presented with seven things. However, not all seven are going to be good for you. It's about illusions and options and making a choice that is right and best for you. And maybe it's better you go for the non alcoholic beverage, depending on what's in these other things, right? This one here is the hanged man. Oh, no, there. This is the hangman, which is interesting. His credit cards are falling out. His money is falling out. His cell phone is falling out. His foot is chained up there. There is the moon. What is that? Oh, this guy. Normally in tarot, the hangman is up on a tree. I don't know that I want to say that this is true. I feel like I want to say that this is actually like a steel beam. Why do I say that? This right behind is a crane with that weight that they have to counterbalance the whole crane. This hangman, you know what it says to me? I feel like this is a person that could have been on Wall Street, a big time investor, because we know time to time when things go wrong, they make alternate choices. I'm just going to phrase it that way. So maybe they're coming to grips with their life, with what they've done. Maybe they've swindled people out of money, right? Therefore, they're losing their own. Maybe they're contemplating doing something because they're in trouble for what they've done or what they've done to other people. So interesting. Yeah. See this here? Yeah, there's nuts and bolts here. This is a crane. That's the crane out there. Woo, that's deep. That's deep. And look, here's a day trader. So this is a day trader in the day when things are good. And when they don't go good, he's the hangman. This is gain. This is 9. This is wealth. This is luxury. This is probably a spa day. This is the moon. Alligators in the dark there. Some kind of funny dog. Moon and stars. You can't even get up, back up if you want to. This is broken. You have to find another way. You need an alternate route. You've got this luxury card with these two men chilling, watching TV in their underwear. Milk and cookies. They're just very at ease with each other. Then we have the sun. Here comes the sun. In a park, a child. The sun is coming in. I don't know what that statue is. I'm going to assume again this could be Central Park. Innocence. And then here we have the matriarch. This is the head of the household, the queen of discs. Plenty of food, family, friends, relationships surrounding her. There's a nobility here, a regalness. Not so much the person, but more so the energy they exude. And also, I believe this is supposed to be Passover as well. I remember this card being pretty, when I read it, I thought it was really nice, really beautiful. So let me see. Let me see if I can dive into the meaning of the Queen of Discs, because I thought it was quite nice. So this is an emotional character in the material realm. She's sensible and reliable. She gives supports to other people. Now, on this plate, this is supposed to be like a Jewish feast. On this plate are different things that symbolize. It's called a cedar plate. Okay, Google, what is a cedar plate?
According to Wikipedia, the Passover Seder plate is a special plate containing symbolic foods eaten or displayed at the Passover Seder. The purpose of the Passover Seder plate is to show all the foods that perpetuate and emphasize the ideas of the people of Israel and are designed to express the uniqueness of the Seder.
It's also about tradition too. So let me do this. So these cards are big. I normally have to shuffle either like this, or I have to do this because I cannot, like, this is very hard to shuffle. Like, I can't even really. That's not a good shuffle. Oh, and See? I hope I got them all. Okay, let's try this again. So, yeah, I cannot hold them the other way if I am doing cards. It's too hard. They just fell all over the floor. All right, so let us see. What shall we ask for? We have just gone through 2 eclipses. 2 of them. What advice can we glean from the Urban Tarot about what is next? Be it energy or next steps. What can you share with us? What can you illuminate for us? Let's try. No. Let's try to shuffle like this. Yeah, these cards are big. They are difficult for me to shuffle, especially because sometimes this hand gives me trouble. So it's difficult. And I do really believe that the cards deserve a good shuffle, unless the energy is so clear that you need to take the card. Okay, let's do this because... So after a while, in the beginning, only because I've had these for a while, they shuffle, you know, like they're fine. They're not my favorite shuffle. Like I have other cards that, to shuffle those cards, it's like a dream. Like for example, this deck to shuffle, woo! Or even the Macabre, beautiful. Almost any of the latest Call It Baron Reed cards. Oh, like sometimes I just shuffle the cards to shuffle. I don't plan on doing a reading, but just the sensation of it, right? So, okay. Let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, that's hard to do it that way. That is uncomfortable. Okay, God, thank you so much that I was able to get through this review. And thank you, actually, for the review being requested, because I saw some things that I never saw in the cards before. And that's why it's important to take the time and to receive and to slow down. One more. Okay, look at that, the star. All right, so what do we have here? We have Valor. We have the Day Trader. Hold on. Let's see, can I? We have, oh, the Queen of Wands. And we have, is that better? There. There, I think that's good. We're on the frame. So we talked quite a bit about these 3 cards already. About valor, standing up for what you believe in, having your voice heard, taking the risk, believing that what you're doing is right. We talked about the public defender. We talked about the public defender being in Washington and having to navigate, right? Let's look at what this Prince of Discs is. Prince of Discs. It says that this is the Day Trader. And it says the princes are thinkers. They're cerebral archetypes, armed with only with the tools of their mind. They charge ahead, they make order from chaos, and they find the truth in confusion. That's interesting. Finding the truth in confusion, standing up for what it is that you believe in, and being a public defender. Now, it could be that you see an injustice or you've been asked to comment on something, but I feel that this is still more personal because of this star. It says here for the Prince of Discs that they're driven and they're problem solvers and they work tirelessly. I want to say we just came out of harvest season, and I almost want to say we're still in harvest season. It's important for you to have balance. It's important the way in which you go after things and how you speak to certain things. This is almost going to seem contradictory. There are things that you want to achieve. That's why the star is here. The star is about temperance and balance and working out. Sorry, 10, 15, 17. Yeah, the star. Um, and there's a level of patience required here, and that you have been patient, you have been steadfast, you have been detailed, but you're also poised for action. I need more clarity. I need more clarity here. What should okay. I know this is a review, but okay. The Valor, the Day Trader, the Public Defender, and the Star. Oh, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Let's start that again. And in case you're curious, I'm using Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. I have Valor here. This is about speaking up, knowing what's right, doing what's right, showing up. I have the Public Defender. There's a connection there. There's a wish fulfillment that's about to come about. And it's about, I said earlier, taking two things and turning them into something new. On the floor. Let's see. So this one on the floor, yeah, see, resolve. Resolve in the sense, there's two ways to take resolve. Resolve could be resolve a situation. Or resolve could be continue to pursue. And I'm hearing continue to pursue in order to resolve a situation. What is this? And that was number 32. This one is number 22, which is perspective, which is interesting because I would put that with the star. That's number 22. And then this last one here is an air element, and it's talking about adaptability. That's interesting. Hold on. I don't like it when my cards aren't neat. Bugs me. Okay. No. Okay. So 32 resolve, 23, that's interesting. We have a mirror happening here. So resolve and adaptability. And then perspective. So in order to resolve whatever's going on, which is your next step, you're going to need to adjust your perspective. Perhaps the way in which you've been going after this thing to find is not the way that you need to do it. I think there's a call for you to do your research, learn about a situation so that you're prepared should you have to act. Sorry, I'm just... Yeah, that's it. Okay. You've been going after a situation. I don't want to say in the wrong way. I don't want to use that word. There's another way to find resolution to your problem. And it is not the way in which you think you have. Perhaps you've been vocal. I'm hearing that you need to quiet that down. You need to keep your thoughts, I don't know, thoughts, plans, position to yourself until the appointed time, because the time is not yet. There's still work that you need to do. I could either put day trader then public defender or public defender then day trader, but either way, it's still the same thing. There's information gathering going on here, which is going to affect your perspective and the way in which you strategize on coming to this solution here. The adaptability is required because it might not make sense to you. Almost like this reading, really. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, okay. Uh, um, it, 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 things will come across in a way that they need to look a certain way, or you think that this is the way it should be laid out. But what you have to do is be adaptable, just like I demonstrated to you, to shift your perspective. Because honestly, in the beginning, when I saw these cards, I'm like, you know what I mean? There was nothing there until I felt directed to shift and change it. That's also a message to you that you're in control of. Uh, you're not in control of people, but you are in control of yourself and how you move forward through this. I'm also hearing that valor doesn't have to always be vocal and loud and uh, what is the word? It doesn't have to be in your face. It could almost be in a way a silent protest. And I don't mean protest with the fire that protest brings. I'm just saying that you are going to be directed on what it is that you need to do, and you need to be able to trust it. It might not make sense when you first hear it, first see it. The more you spend time with it, the more you examine it in the stillness, meaning something is going to come your way. I don't want you, well, it doesn't matter what I want. You should not be shopping it around to your friend, your cousin, your auntie, your nephew, your best friend, your enemy to get their opinion. This is not that time. This is time for you and spirit to commune as one and for you to receive direction so that you know how to do what is next. So, I'm hearing modern nirvana. This has turned into, I mean, listen, normally when I do a review, I do a wee bit of a reading, but this seems to be a little bit more than a wee bit, to be very honest. So, in case you're wondering, I now have the modern nirvana oracle. I just got this. I'm pretty sure I did a quick mini review on it. I haven't spent any time with this deck. Can you please give me a card? Because I want to say, let me just stop for a second. I said that there's mirroring going on because you got 23 and 32. So there's something there that we're going to look at. But also you got 22, and this means there's some kind of progress that's also being made, okay? And the progress that's being made is a shift in your perspective. Adaptability and resolve. Can I please get one card that connects the energy between adaptability and resolve? Did you give me one or two? You gave me one card. Whoa. Modern? Whoa! Modern. We spent, okay, so this is the second half of the live because for whatever reason it got stuck and it canceled and I had to come back on. So the title is not going to be right. If you're looking at this live, it's probably going to say something about Sufi Tarot. I'm going to go back and adjust it. But we spent some time in that first one, I'm quite sure, talking about the Hudson River, the Manhattan River, because there was this card. I want to say it was Judgment, I think number 20. It might have been called Aeon. And it had to do, or at least what I was seeing, was a juxtaposition between the new and the old. And so there has been an old perspective that you've had that you need to be adaptable that's going to help you resolve something, right? And this card, if I remember correctly, oh, you can't see. Hold on. This card here talks about the new and the old. And the concern here is that, let's say, the sages or the shamans of old were concerned that modern technology was eroding and taking away from their way of doing things, right? Where something was being lost in transition, whereas the modern stuff, the technology was like, oh, that's old, that's ancient, who cares? But the truth is, the answer was in the melding of the two. And so if you are having a conflict with somebody, perhaps the answer is somewhere between what you think and they think. And you just have to massage the way in which you see it. You have to be willing to cross the wall, to climb the wall, to have their way of seeing a situation reflected back on you, and maybe even take the time to stand in their perspective. Because that is where the resolution lies. Can I get a card for perspective, please? A card for perspective, please. Ooh, emptiness. Emptiness, emptiness, emptiness. We're going to have to read that one. Emptiness, emptiness. Where is that? Emptiness. Whoa. It says here, we mold clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that makes the vessel useful. Holy. It says, my mind is an open door to empty space. Where there were once thoughts, only the elegance of stillness remains. I already told you, you need to be still to get whatever's coming. You need to be still so that you can hear. You need to be empty. Whoops. So you can receive what is coming. And you're not going to be able to hear the direction that you need if you're busy, 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 and you're shopping your idea or getting everybody's thoughts on your situation. No, as I said, this is not the time. This is time for stillness, because in the stillness, you are able to empty your mind. Because, and if we even look at how, even if we look at how this has been laid out, you have the public defender who has legal knowledge, then you have the day trader, let's say, who has financial knowledge. Either way, it's passion and knowledge. But this passion, this spark, this insight, this wisdom, this strategy is going to be poured into you to shift your perspective. And in order to get this new perspective, you must be empty to receive it. Jeez. It says here, so there's like, they have 4 steps here, right? So it talks about closing your eyes, feeling the sensations in your heart, body, and your mind. And you're supposed to say, I release, I relax, I let go. And then with every inhale, you're breathing in bright light. And then with every exhale, you're releasing out doubt, fear, heaviness, all of that stuff. And you just keep doing it until you feel lighter. And then it says, keep breathing until you feel all of yourself and your identity and perception dissolve into dark matter, silent, dazzling darkness, and becoming entrapped. Is that entrapped? Entraptured. In the appreciation of emptiness as a container. So you're to breathe out the junk so that you can receive the good. It says, float in the emptiness and allow this energy to defragment all subconscious clutter as your thoughts organize on their own without force or effort. And that's what I'm talking about, the receiving. So you're being called to empty. You're being called to be still so that you can receive. And in this beautiful space of emptiness, you'll be able to organize, and there will be no resistance. Because part of the issue here is that you are resistance to being adaptable, to bringing in resolution through a modern or a combining or a temperance of, first of all, yourself internally, so that you can then take that outside to bring in resolution and answers and hope and change that you're looking for. My gosh. So what I'm going to do very briefly, and then I am going to end. Now, I know that I said I would do a review on the Urban Tarot, which is what we've done. Ta-da. And that I would do the Business Tarot here, but I need to stop. Excuse me. I need to take a pause. Maybe I will come back later. Maybe I just need a drink and something to eat and I'm fine. I don't know. Because I'm still getting over being sick. But I do want to quickly dive into these Astral Realm Oracle cards. And I'm just going to skim it and see what is there for you. So if we look at number 32, number 32 is talking about, the mantra is, I am confident and secure with the decisions I have made so far and will make in the future. That's important. It says here that the desert jasper, which is the stone that goes with this, it's extremely grounding and it will help you to center your mind, allowing you to connect with your head and your heart while making decisions you can feel secure and enthusiastic about. It says here, no one else has been where you've been and no one else is able to give you the answers. So you must have faith and believe in yourself that your resolve is the most beneficial, meaning, as I said, you cannot shop it around. My voice is going now. Great. Okay. Let's do the other one. It says, I allow my energy to move freely through and around me. And it's talking about being in uncomfortable positions. This is the adaptability portion. And that energy is always shifting and altering. And the flow of energy impacts your life. It's also giving a warning about blockages. And so there's some blockage here, as we've talked about, a blockage that you have to pierce and push through, right? And part of that blockage is your perspective on a situation that you're currently dealing with. Sorry. It's talking about balance. And the air element bestows your mind to be more flexible and free to comprehend the changes it needs to adapt to. It mentions it mentions lace gate. Lace gate. I think that's how you say it. And lace gate is about being more flexible in your mind and providing strength and balance and stability. Strength, balance, stability. When I see public defender, I do think strength. I do think a level of stability. When I see the star, that's about temperance. That's about balancing. That's about being the alchemist. Two things making a new thing, right? You take A, you take B, you make C. And so your goal here, let's do some tarot math. You're going to take your perspective plus being adaptable with it to give you resolve. Your A plus B gives you C. And let's do this last one. Let's talk about your perspective. It says here there's two kinds of being. There's low vibe, and then there's high vibe. You know, the mantra here is I create my own reality. This card is about bringing in loving energy, calm, serenity, and healing. It's about aligning and naturally aligning to the power of the mind and shifting certain vibrations. There might be a vibration or a block that is something you're not seeing, some kind of moon energy that you're not seeing, which is why you need to get empty. Funny, I said moon in here, be it this is the moon or the sun, there's something here. that you need to allow to shine through. So you need to breathe. You need to clear your mind and allow Spirit, God, to give you the new perspective in your emptiness. You need to make yourself empty in order to receive. And that will allow you to become adaptable and resolve or attain and achieve what it is that you want. Let me do one last card, seeing as I'm here and I'm already so far in. I just got this deck too. Raise your vibration. I have to stop. The deck addiction is real. Okay. Just give me something to close off this deck review turn tarot reading. Wow. These are nice to shuffle too, I have to say. Nice job, Kyle Gray. Nice job. Okay, one card, just to close off the reading. What does this say? I was called here on a mission. I was called here on a mission. There's a lot of action in these cards. I was called here on a mission. Let's see. 128. It says here, the vibe of the day is I remember the power of my spirit. This card is meant to bring a boost of confidence to show that you are on the right path. By just being who you are, you're a bright spark of light and goodness to other people. Stop getting worried about specifics and express the power of your spirit in the most authentic way. It says to shine now, shine where you are, and express your gifts, and the rest will unfold. It says here, that your soul set an intention to remember the power of your spirit in this lifetime, and it has set the intention to bring in the light of source, and that was your mission. The rest was left up to you. All the learning, hence the data gathering and the Queen of Wands, all the experiences and what you might do with them, but your life has great purpose. And when this card comes to you, the universe is simply reminding you of it. You might be questioning what your purpose is. You're being called to, again, same thing, spend time quietly. And your source is the answer, and within you is the answer. It is not the stories and perspective of a whole bunch of people. Do not shop around whatever this is. You don't need to do that. You are being reminded of your mission, of your purpose, which is why the stillness and the emptying is required. So you might want to, if you're into 10 things, you might need to bring that down to like 6, 5, 4, 3. You understand? The extraneous things that you're involved in, that you're doing, that clog you up, that block up your ability to have the right perspective, to be adaptable, and to bring resolution and purpose into your life, you need to remove those things. Because what you want wants you to, right? Isn't that the Rumi thing? What you want wants you to. It's calling to you as well. This star, right? As a matter of fact, as soon as I said that, I heard, whatever you've got going on, you need to pick your top 2, because between those top 2, you're going to create your third thing. And that is the mission. That is your mission. Whatever it is that you reduce your plate down to, and you pick your top 2 things, when you temperance, when you alchemize, when you be the mixologist in your life, That is where you will learn and know what the mission is. Whoa! Sorry, I do that when I see something. So what's interesting here is that there is water pouring out all along. And normally when you see the star card, she's by the water. And we have a water bottle pouring out here. And do you see how this star, sorry, is reflected in the water? What's that song? Carrie Underwood, Something in the Water? This star is reflected in the water. The information that source has for you. Oh, and reflection again, because we have the 2332. You need to tune into your life and see the signs and synchronicities that are there, because that is where the answer lies. You were called here on a mission. You were being reminded of it. And the mission is trying to reflect and show up in aspects of your life which you might be missing. But you are mirrored here in the numbers 23 and 32. You are being called to be an empty vessel so that you can receive. And I'm telling you that you need to take these two bottles. You know, one land is on the water, one land is, one foot is on water, one foot is on land, and you have two bottles and you're mixing it up. And in that mixing will come the revelation as to what it is your mission is, in case you've forgotten, in case you're not clear, in case you're unsure. And this is not something that you need to be talking to everybody about. This is internal work. This is personal work. If you want to know some of the crystals that are meant to support you, there's the Larimar, there's the lace agate, and there is the desert jasper, in case you're wondering. And you might want to look in your birth chart and see where Vesta is right now, and see where Neptune is right now, and see where the air elements are right now. And that will be a way for you to personalize this meaning, this message, that much more. Okay. I think there's something called Astrology Cafe that you can go to, but just look it up, get your birth chart. They're normally free. And just pinpoint where Vesta is, where Neptune is, and look and see where those air elements are within your chart. And that will help to give you a personal, detailed look as to what is going on in your life at this moment. All right. Well, that was a marathon. That was a marathon. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're blessed by it. Thank you for asking me to look at that deck, because wow. Wow. Sometimes you don't know what you have until you dig deep and you go inside. That was beautiful. All right, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. I so appreciate it. You have a beautiful day, and I will come back and do a little review on the business class tarot, and it will not be as long as this one. Take care, be blessed, and be a blessing.